Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Market Mondays. The market is
Hey,
closed, but we are open for business. What's going on, y'all?
every day, how y'all feeling?
Feeling good, man. How you, man?
Good. Happy to be here. I know y'all had a busy weekend at All Star, so
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, we weren't snowboarding or anything, but
But y'all slid into victory.
Sli-
Hey,
we slid into some rooms with some good people, some good networking, man. Shout out to the Bay for sure.
Bay Area.
Yeah, man. They showed us a lot of love out there, man. A lot of people were looking for you. They just expect to see you now. Like they see it, they
All
like
the time, yeah.
tell Ian, like they got a lot. There's a lot of messages that people want me to tell you. I'll tell you after this, but because
Got
some
you.
people were a little aggressive, I said, just relax, just relax,
Chill.
just chill. We got y'all.
My Lord.
That's a
But I appreciate it. It's good to be thought of.
fact. That's a fact.
Yes.
That's a fact, man. Shout out to everybody out there. Hit the like button and share. We are live. Gonna be a good show. We got a lot to talk about. First and foremost, we got Blackout on Wednesday at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you check that out. And then this Thursday at 9 o'clock, we're gonna be doing back to our live series, How To, and we're gonna be doing how to buy a car. All the things that you need to know. You know, the car inflation is crazy right now, so we're gonna be going over leasing, financing, used cars, new cars, how many miles on the lease, all that type of stuff,
Yeah, some things have changed too. I know the last time we did it was a few years back, and everybody was like, "Yo, that 6,000 pound rule." Things have changed, so it's time to update the information, man. So be on the lookout for that one. Shout out, somebody's from Hawaii just tapped in. Shout out to Marshall out in Hawaii. What's going on?
Hey, shout out to Hawaii.
Let's see. What time is it out there? You still remember?
2 o'clock.
Damn, this guy.
What? Legend.
So let's so 9 o'clock on Thursday. Our guy Chris Gervais, he's actually our personal car broker. That's where we get our cars from.
Yep.
So he's actually going to be going over all the things that you need to know about buying a car and even selling a car in today's environment. A lot has changed. COVID, it was crazy. Then it kind of settled out a little bit, but it's still an interesting time for the car market. So everything you need to know about buying a car, the business aspect of it, that's there, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Thursday.
Yep.
That's going to be incredible.
For sure. Ian, any announcements?
Yes. If you want to get rich from the market, go to ianinvest.com. If you want to know where to get in, where to get out, if you don't want to burn through all your money in your account, come join the Red Panda Stock Club. Red Panda Stock Club will be tomorrow, Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central. If I made you money, please put yes in chat. And let's have an amazing show. I'm happy to be here live. And bring back Cash App for episode.
Uh-oh. Cash App Poppy.
Invite 5 friends. Poppy Zito back. You know what I mean? So let's get to it.
Love is in the air.
For sure.
Disclaimer?
Yeah, y'all know how this works, man. Do your own research. Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with, or independently research and verify any information that you hear on our show and wish to rely upon for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. Continue to do the research, share the research. Shout out to everybody that when they run up to us in public, show us what research is done for their accounts. It's incredible, man. A bunch of people talking about, not only my account, but we're having family meetings about the information that's being provided. So it's incredible, man. Keep sharing, keep spreading love. That's how we build community.
Congrats on our victory too, but I know y'all gonna talk about it later. But impressive. I see y'all out there making moves. Looking good out there. Hey,
you know we outside, man. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Today is the GOAT's birthday. We leave that up for debate. Michael Jordan's birthday is today.
Ain't no debate. I'm
trying to be politically correct. You know, I'm taking it. You know, this guy sitting next to me might think differently.
And we can have multiple GOATs, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yes. Yeah. And who else we got? We got Spanx. Shout out to Spanx. I know his birthday is this week. Shout out to Spanx, February 20th, I believe. And happy birthday to an absolute classic. It turned 7 years old yesterday. We're looking at it right now. Victory Lap. Rest in peace to
Yeah.
Nip.
Rest
Victory
in
Lap
peace.
turned 7 years old yesterday. Absolute classic. Definitely inspiration for both of us. So shout out to that.
For sure. And get your copy of You Deserve to Be Rich.
Yes.
New York Times bestseller. Out right now on all platforms. So get your copy of You Deserve to Be Rich. Changing lives out there. One book at a time.
Authentic. Yeah, it was great. We some lucky fans walked away with copies of the book yesterday. So to see their reaction to the title, they're like, wait, I really deserve to be rich. I was like, yeah, that's it. They got it. Dope.
All right.
How relieved are y'all to be done writing it though?
Huh?
How relieved are you to be done just writing it though? And all you got to do is Lord.
Yeah, it's a process. It's a process.
No,
it's
know
a
how
process.
it go. So all right, let's get this started. Okay, let's warm it up before we get to the main event. Question from the audience. Should we, and we could actually take questions from the chat too, because we are live. So maybe if you got a question in chat, put in chat, and then we'll answer some questions in chat.
And if the question is amazing, I'm gonna cash app you.
So
there you go.
There you go.
So should we invest in T-Mobile right now, or should we wait to invest in the Starlink IPO?
Great question. Shadi Troy, what do I call that? A 3-level score. So you have 3 levels of investing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a pre-IPO, of course. You have IPO, and then of course there's some other VC stuff that you can do. The big thing for tonight is going to be, put it in chat, do both. T-Mobile is a sleeper. Shout out to everybody in Stock Club. T-Mobile has been a pick and stock club for probably 2 or 3 years now. I think Starlink will be one of the greatest IPOs in history. But until we have it publicly available, definitely invest in T-Mobile for the long term. Hold it for the long term. If you need a price for it to get in, go to eninvest.com and I'll put the prices in there for you. But T-Mobile is definitely a great asset to hold and equity to hold long term. Great leadership, great traction, profit margin is solid for their industry. So yeah, I like T-Mobile a hell of a lot.
Yeah, like T-Mobile, definitely seen growth over the past 5 years. This partnership with Starlink makes a lot of sense. I know it's not going to be as much excitement investing in T-Mobile as if Starlink goes public, but it's interesting if you follow the Spider XLC fund, which is telecommunications. It's actually, the allocation has been updated, so it's probably in the top 10 now. I know people look, if you go inside the holdings, you have Meta at the top, you have Google. The first real telecommunications that you think of is AT&T, but the allocation inside T-Mobile has increased, and they've been performing. So definitely a sleeper. But yeah, I'm with you. I do both. But definitely when Starlink comes to the market, that's going to be a game changer. That takes T-Mobile from having a domestic imprint, which has increased, to now having a global imprint. That they can now grow and see some definite new customer base from an international standpoint.
So Atlas Lord on YouTube right now says, what will happen with Intel if the deal with TSMC and Broadcom actually happens?
Damn, y'all finally gonna say that I was right about Intel being dead. Because when you take a body and break it in half like Kendrick did to Drake.
Yo, easy, man.
We're gonna talk on Wednesday about this album. My Lord. Nico, Baca.
Hug for you. There's a hug for you, man. Don't do that.
But the two companies will both benefit incredibly well. So they will go up as a result. We have to, maybe next week, and I know some people hate when I do this cliffhanger thing, but we're going to have a conversation about, is TSM, your baby, the most important company in the world? And I think it's about time that we take Tim Cook. If you don't announce I can shoot lasers out of my hand with this iPhone 17, it's finna be over with. My love is gonna go away. Oh, baby. But there are going to be a couple companies that are going to benefit from this. Invest in them until they'll remain flat. But Broadcom and TSM as a result will get bigger and stronger for sure. Great question though.
Yeah, great question. Is it one of the most important companies? I think we all think that. I think the administration thinks that as well, which is why on Friday he's trying to encourage them to, do that deal. The interesting thing about the Broadcom TSM situation is that they're actually not working together for the deal. He's just suggesting that those are the two companies from a design standpoint. You take over that half, and TSM, you take over the manufacturing in terms of the factories. But here's the part, right? Like last year, we were just talking about this. Intel was awarded $8 billion from the federal government to build fabs, right? They're putting them in Ohio.
Go investigate.
Right? They got them in Arizona. I think the total cost for all four was going to be about $20 billion. And so that's like build it and we'll take it from here. That's what this feels like a little bit, right? Like we'll take it from here. You've done your part, but this company has done it better. They're doing it at the global scale and everybody needs them. We can't afford for anybody to invade them and disrupt any economy, especially ours. So they're going to just, we appreciate what you've done. We'll take it from here.
Intel is the slow kid in your family, and your family have money, and you got to get the 2 tutors to come teach them and make them seem like they're honorable and smart. So they're going to get those 2 companies to, because you got to get the $8 billion back. You got to get a return, especially while Elon trying to get all the taxpayer information so he can be the overlord of the U.S. But the government has to get a return on this, so I get it. Pick 2 amazing companies that can help revive this brand, if you will. But Broadcom and TSM are going to be the biggest benefactors of this for sure.
So that's interesting. This is the big Doge play, right? Wasteful spending. Well, we need to return on investment.
Clean that money up fast. Yes.
So but I forgot. Carnegie Hall.
Yes.
Next
Oh
week.
yeah.
February 27th, my actual birthday.
Circum date.
Next Thursday, we will be doing Carnegie Hall for the 3rd year in a row. Shout out to our friend Robert Smith. He's on the board. And every Black History Month, they do an event, which is about entrepreneurship, investing. And then at the end of it, they have a musical performance with like an iconic rapper that performs with a live orchestra. If you're not familiar, Carnegie Hall is like one of the most prestigious venues in the world for like opera and orchestras and stuff like that. So this year it will be Earn Your Leisure. Robert S. Smith, the CEO of Louis Vuitton, will be joining us.
Amazing stock, by the way.
For sure. And a bunch of other people. And then the musical performer will be Rakim. Shout out to Rakim, the guy Rakim. He will be performing with a live orchestra band, paid in full, and all his medleys. So that's gonna be a dope. That's that Black excellence vibe. February 27th, and I'm actually doing an after party. I will announce that probably on Blackout.
Okay. I didn't get my box yet, but
I will be doing an after party too. So yeah, good day, a good day in world history. So join us in Carnegie Hall if you can. You go to carnegieHall.org/power network.
Yep.
And meet us in Carnegie Hall, man.
Yes, and shout out to everybody in chat that's saying dress appropriately. Yes, it's one of those outings. Yes, dress appropriately.
Yeah, Carnegie Hall.
This is not that.
For sure. For sure. Shout out to Carnegie Hall, man. Trump's not on
no
the board
Canadian
yet.
Texas.
He ain't take it over yet?
He ain't take it over
All
yet.
Right. We got that. Okay.
Yeah, we got a few more, maybe. Who knows? Okay. So we talked about the Broadcom TSMC situation. So what are thoughts on Hood, Hims, and Palantir? And do you think the bottom is in for AMD?
I'll take the AMD question. Richard, we can stay together if you don't mind, because I want to get that feedback as well. Can you say that there's a bottom end for AMD when TSM, Broadcom, NVIDIA, then the other company you want to talk about later, Troy, you have 3 clear winners that are light years ahead. Like, I love AMD, it's a stock club, to be fair, but NVIDIA, Broadcom, TSM are like Kyrie level, Luca level. AMD is like Bill Bradley or something right now.
See, like you over index on the disrespect.
Give me somebody.
Bill Bradley? Damn.
It's a clear separation between the value and performance of those 4.
Yes.
Everyone in chat, yes or no. So I don't know if the bottom is in yet. I'm still bullish. I think they'll have a great year due to partnerships. As far as Palantir, morally, I didn't like it. but you can't argue with the return. Robinhood, friend, I do love the way that they're innovative. I like the way, and not just because they're a friend of the show, but if you look at it, where they've come from in the last year or two, that rebound has been incredible. And from where they fell from, one of the few companies in that era, like Zillow, who fell that far, who actually rebounded. Like, he doesn't get enough credit, kind of like Dara, for turning around Uber. He's done a great job of turning around that company and being innovative when the entire world at one point was against him for kind of like revolutionizing trading. And here now we all of a sudden have 24-hour trading becoming available when they kind of did that and ushered that in first. So Robinhood, I like. AMD, it's going to be a while before they get in pole position, but I think we all know Palantir is a clear rock star in the stock market.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on all the things. I think, yes, this is the bottom for AMD.
You think so?
I think, yeah, this is the bottom. I think the next 2 weeks are very critical. And it's
For
kind of
sure.
been playing out in its favor, in a sense, when we know the 26th, and if you don't have that circle on your calendar, that's the Super Bowl, right? NVIDIA is going to report its earnings.
Sure.
And so that will give us a clearer vision on what this AI space looks like post the deep seek or deep fake, whatever we want to call it,
Yeah.
right? We saw all the AI stocks take a hit from that. Some of them have rebounded. We've seen AMD pull back and drop 20%, and now it's sitting in the 130s again. That'll be important. I think the super micro piece was important as well.
For sure.
The fact that it didn't collapse tells us something about the AI story as well. So I think AMD's day is coming. I think, yes, this is the bottom. I mean, when you drop 60%, how low can you go? Right.
Yeah.
So yes, we talked about Hood last week, and when we spoke, well, when we attended the conference, we kind of had a sneak peek under the hood to see what was on the innovation side and what they were doing, and trying to bring more customers in, having 24-hour trading, having more equities, having the futures market, some updates on their desktop to make sure that was more attractive, as well as the options market. We saw what happened inside of crypto. And a lot of times when people were outside in the public and we tell people, I asked, like, hey, what brokerage are you using? Surprisingly, a lot of them are using Robinhood. Yeah. I'm thinking that they would be using something different, but a lot of people are using Robinhood, and kudos to them. They've made it easy for people who are just begun to invest. And that was sort of the knock on them, right? It's so beginner friendly that it doesn't feel like it's for advanced people. They heard the feedback and they've actually updated. So kudos to them. So really like them. Palantir, we spoke about. HIMS, I mean, this is one of these stories where you look at this chart and it's like, wait, how is this happening? So I can't say like or love yet. I don't have a position in HIMS, but I'm definitely watching this. Like, so if anybody's in that position, congratulations. This run has been incredible. We'll see how long they can keep it going. It's like one of these things where is there enough data? Like, if I go back 5 years, what does that chart look like? If I go back 10 years, there is no chart, right? Like, so we got to wait and see on this, but the run has been incredible thus far. And
if Lilly has been overpriced and priced like a tech stock, and Novo was too expensive before the run up, they are collapsing now, 52-week low. It's a good way to get exposure for a pretty cheap price, especially if you got it early in the last year around 25 or 30 bucks. So it was just a good pharmaceutical play, or a pharmaceutical derivative for sure. So solid company though. I don't know if they'll ever be this is a very good company. Good player, not great, but sometimes good will get the job done.
Yeah. So like you put Novo, obviously, with Ozempic, Lilly.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're all in that same category. They're competitors. As those two have kind of pulled back, we've seen them, they've just been running. So yeah, keep an eye on that.
Yes. Okay. 5,200 people want to check in.
Yeah.
Hit the like button and share. Somebody put in a super chat like how we would distribute a portfolio. We're actually going to talk about that a little later on. So we will answer that question a little later on. But before we go to the next topic, I do want to clarify something. So we have been going viral on social media. I don't know if you saw this, Ian, but you know, we purchased this. We're involved in this real estate project in Ghana, and there was an influencer, and he made a video on TikTok about it, and it kind of went viral. And then a lot of other people have been posting it. And pretty much what he was saying is that he described it, and he said that, you know, we went to the Ghanaian government, and explained that we wanted to, bring Black Americans over, and they gave us land, and they said, okay, we'll give you land, but first we need to see, if it's actually going to work or not. And kudos to that brother, because I think that he had well intentions, but it's not exactly how it went. But
yeah, he went over and met with the prime minister.
It's crazy because that just goes to show you the power of the internet, where that story is a complete fantasy
farce.
But he said it in a very convincing manner, right? Like he said it in a very believable manner, and he went into detail. They went to the government, and the government will say, "Okay, we'll give you this, but first we need to do a trial run." And I'm just wondering where he got this information from, because none of that is actually true. We had no government involvement at all. He's working with private developers. We did an episode about it. So these guys already own the land, private development. The government has nothing to do with it at all. It's not just for Black Americans. It's ideally for everybody. So a mix of local Ghanaians, people from America, people from the UK, whoever wants to buy property. It's not segregation. It's not something that is designed only for one group of people. It is designed to actually bring two worlds together and actually do it in a beneficial way where everybody can learn from each other and have a vibrant community of sorts. But like I said, shout out to that brother. I don't think he did it with any malice, but it just
the performative nature of it, though. I'm like, oh, it was so good. I'm like, I missed the government meeting.
I watched it. Like, who's he talking about?
I'm like, wait, we was there for Market Mondays in Ghana. Wait, hold on, y'all, okay. And then Bill Clinton flew over just to plan to segregate Ghana and take it away from. I'm like, bro, you doing too much, bro. Chill.
But chill, so, like I said, what that does do is just show you that just because you see something on the internet, don't believe it, right? Yeah. Like, you gotta fact check everything that you see, because that is a story that is based in no truthfulness at all, and it went viral, and that's probably reached millions of people by now. And now millions of people have that. Like I said, no disrespect to the Ghanaian government, but we've never had communication with the Ghanaian government. Like, they never gave us any land. Yeah. And once again, it's not a discriminatory project where you have to be a Black American to come. But I'll tell you this much. If you're complaining about things, this is the reason that we're in the situation that we're in the United States of America and globally, because at some point in time, we have to take responsibilities for ourselves. We find a way to criticize everything and don't do anything. We have the most criticisms and the least productivity,
for sure,
out of any people on the planet. So while China is moving in and the UAE is moving in and everybody else is moving in, you trying to figure out why it's a bad idea. Now we're gentrifiers and colonizers. It's not
that work for Kendrick. That's not gonna work for y'all. Y'all not like us. We've been telling y'all about investing, and then y'all be surprised that we have equity and stuff. Oh, I can't believe it. What? You go build something with your dollars.
Exactly. Let me explain something. Like a real estate.
If people want to invest, how can they be involved in the project?
But for sure, you can go to sombracity.com. and you can buy a home. But a real estate development, there's a difference between business and colonization. Colonization is coming to the land, taking over the land, imposing your culture, kicking the natives out. Business development is different. I think we really got to educate the audience on the two different things, right? But it's unfortunate, like I said, that we find a problem in everything. We find a problem in everything, right? And it's like you only have problems with no solutions. If anybody has any level of solutions, you're going to find a way to criticize. One thing that we're going to do is complain. One thing that we're going to do consistently is complain. That's what we're going to do consistently. Sure. Without a shadow of a doubt, we're going to find a way to complain. And we only complain about things that are from people that look like us.
Because the others don't care. And I've noticed too, the people that don't have any solutions love to tear down those that do, because it ruins your hustle. It's great to be metaphysics and I can take wind. Sounds good, bro.
I think
People have families got to pay bills. What you gonna do?
We over index on that, right? Complain and then cast doubt. Like those two things. Like, nah, there's no way that can happen. Yeah. Nah, they always talk about, okay, so improve.
But I do love you. And shout out to Dr. Umar. Looks like he got his school up.
Did he?
It's not open yet.
What?
He has a building. He has a building.
He has a building?
In Delaware.
I'm going tomorrow. Where's that?
I thought it was in Cali.
Wilmington, Delaware. He put it on Instagram. It's on his Instagram.
Congrats.
Shout out to Umar. Donations paid off. My boy got the building up. Ooh, building fun.
All right, let's see.
On Black History Month too.
Fall. All right, new school year. Let's do it. Looking forward to that. That's dope.
For sure.
That's dope.
So all right. So yeah, it's just once again, shout out to that brother. No disrespect to that brother. The content creator. I don't think he meant any harm, but just wanted to clarify that. But okay. So garbage stock that isn't garbage. Is it time to buy GFL now?
Great question. I would say, once again, my most important thesis is to invest in the top one. If you look at Waste Management versus this company, while this company is decent, they're not touching Waste Management. Like
the company,
much better performer. We're going to go back to the All-Star game.
Okay.
I don't want any opinion. Is this player better than this player? That company is not better than Waste Management, has not been, and I don't think ever will be. If you go back to even 2000 flat, it was at $26. It is currently at $227 for a very capital intensive business. That is a hell of a return. I will put them in the category with like Caterpillar, John Deere, Home Depot, that industrial space that makes America moves. It's not sexy, but the company is incredibly well ran, great return. So I would not buy the stock. I would dump it, no pun intended, and replace it with Waste Management. But I thought it was a great question.
I had Waste Management as my backup just in case you said that you should.
See?
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those things. I think we don't talk about it enough. We don't talk about it pretty much because this is one of those sectors, these spaces and businesses that like there is always going to be support for, right? Like there's some things that we're going to agree on, right? Making sure that waste is removed, recycling is something that people believe. Those things are AI will affect it. It won't crush it, right?
Yeah.
Like some things in categories, I don't want to call them recession proof, but they feel like they're going to survive in any economy. So I had Waste Management, and then I had another one. I had Republic Services.
Okay, so I'm good with them. Yeah,
ticker RSG. Those are two great waste management companies. If you look at their history, look at their chart, really solid. But yeah, it's a sector. If you have in your portfolio, if you want to diversify, like that's something, we talk about tech a lot. We've been talking about energy. We've been talking about healthcare. Those two right there, solid pickups to add to the portfolio for sure.
Yeah, and I also want to remind you guys because sector rotation is not for retail investors, but when you are, pick the best in class. Like a lot of you are going to get hurt trying to pick the fourth or fifth best. There's only one LeBron, one MJ. Same in every category. There's one player that stands out. You'll do a hell of a lot better job trying to find an entry point into a great player or great stock opposed to looking for the fifth best there. If you just eliminated that, you'll have 20 or 30% more gains probably in 2 to 4 quarters. So,
okay.
Or you can do what Adam Silver been doing, but hit the like button.
Hit the like button and share, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
we are live.
For everybody, but is this live? Is it
live? I haven't seen one. Is this live in the chat? Shout out to homegirl. She said my granny's watching. Shout out to you.
Shout out to you and your grandma.
Yeah. See, family friendly show.
We are live. Okay. So alcohol stocks. What alcohol sector companies do you love? And I will say this. I do not agree with the alcohol industry. It's against what I believe in. It's like gambling to me. I think that it's extremely detrimental to everybody, but to marginalized communities even more. It impacts the poor, and it ruins families, and it ruins lives. But drink responsibly. I'm not an extremist, but I will lead with that's just my own personal opinion. I feel like it's been targeted to our community, over-indexed, and it's not helpful. I don't think that alcohol is helpful.
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, that's my disclaimer.
So,
what 5 companies would you invest in if you invested in alcohol?
This is moral investing.
Yeah,
well, it depends on what your morals are.
That's what I'm at. That's what that was like
yeah.
almost a disclaimer for.
That's just my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
Rashad, we gonna be twins. 3 in a corner.
No emotions in this investing game. No, you want to go?
No emotions, but we got to take a stance. I am the biggest Tupac fan walking earth. I do believe in karma. After Diageo did what they did, look where the stock is going on. We're going to have another conversation about that derailment and how that fucking company got derailed after they did that to him. Anheuser Busch wouldn't touch. Sam Adams, it was good during a recession or a great, whatever they called during COVID. I wouldn't touch any of them. I think America is going through a shift where we all realize that alcohol is not good for your body, especially when it's targeted to our communities. And I get it. You can make the stance that, okay, every company on earth does something immoral. I get it. But when things are hyper indexed, like stuff with Palantir that could be alcohol, and I'll say with Robert Kennedy getting in, there's going to be a lot of changes to that food and drug industry, which needed to happen probably 20 or 30 years ago. So as an entire sector, I don't want to touch. But I do want you to go look. Even as a Tupac fan, I'm still black first. Go look to see what their company after they took them out, which tells you the value of us promoting those brands and not having no equity in them.
Yeah.
That's what I want to talk. All the Kikian and the Drake Kendrick. I want to always get back to public equities and private equities. When he got removed, that company fell apart. I haven't seen a Ciroc bottle float nowhere since.
Yeah. So I'll go down all of them, because when we talk about the recession and we talk about recession stocks, this sector never gets brought up. But if you look at all the highs in the companies we just named, Anheuser Busch, Constellation Brands, Boston Beer, Diageo, they all had their highs in 2021 or 2022, which is that pandemic. Everybody's home. We saw alcoholism was spiking. The orders were going through the roof. And now it's just this harsh pullback. Anheuser Busch, think about this. Year 2015 to the date, February 16th, Anheuser Busch was trading at $123.37. Today, it is trading at $53.12. That's a 10-year span. It never got back over 120 in that 10-year span. That's Anheuser.
Granny, cover your ears. Piece of y'all can fill in.
Thanks, Granny. Thanks, Granny. Boston Beer, which I'm not really sure if I know anybody that consumes any of these beers, but again, this was in 2021. It was trading at $1,300.
I was looking at a point like, yes,
$1,300 a share. It is now sitting under $240. Just drastic falls. Diageo, what you just spoke about, obviously what happened with the lawsuit, they take ownership back over Ciroc, right? They claim the other brand as well. But their portfolio is pretty vast, right? They got Casamigos, they got Dom P. They share Hennessy with LVMH. They share Moet with LVMH. But they've taken a hit, right? 221 was their high at 210. They're sitting at 107. So this is like, when we talk about the recession and some of the sectors that it helps, this was definitely one. We've seen a drastic pullback as people start to realize, hey, there's brands that are kicking us in the sorry, Granny, right? From non-alcoholic beverages, right? And we've seen that, and people making healthier choices when it comes to it. So shaky grounds right now for the alcoholic brands. But there was one guy who just invested in one of these companies by the name of Warren Buffett. For the first time, he invested in Constellation Brands, and so that was interesting. They are the owners of Corona. And Modelo. So they own those two beer companies, Corona and Modelo, and he just invested in them. So
Yeah.
interesting
And
play.
Budweiser been trash and Stone Cold was drinking them. I'm like,
That's
yo,
right.
man,
Well, we
better
got to
product.
see if they could go, if they might go through the same thing that the cigarette industry went through. I feel like
I
not
think
as
so.
bad. People's always going to drink alcohol, but at some point in time, you have to understand that it causes cancer. We have cirrhosis of the liver,
Yes.
kidney failures,
Dementia.
dementia. It's terrible for bad memory loss, weight gain.
Yeah.
It's bad for you.
Fellas, some of y'all ain't performing well at night too because y'all drink too much.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get a shot of Henny and get to it.
Erectile dysfunction.
Noodle. What? Gummy worm. Quit drinking the brown, my boy.
Too many Incredible Hulks, man.
So we're gonna have to see how this thing plays out. But drink responsibly. Okay. We're almost at 7,000. Let's get this thing up to 7,000. We're gonna be talking about all-star stocks. Before we do that, speaking of all-star, I do want to say one thing. We was at All-Star weekend. Shout out to the G League, NBA.
Yeah.
So this I've had an epiphany, and we go to these parties all the time, stuff like that, and there's one person from our culture who has this thing figured out. So I'm gonna let the people guess.
No, figured out.
And it's obviously, like, of course, like Robert Smith, Tyler Perry, they have it figured out. But I'm saying, like, not a billionaire. He's not a billionaire yet. But there's one person from our culture that has it figured out. Who put in chat who you think?
I think we're thinking about. I'm thinking the same person. Yeah, absolutely.
So I see Kevin Hart. Shout out to Kevin. He's an intelligent dude for sure. 50 Cent, Shaquille O'Neal.
The crazy, we were in the Uber leaving an event, and we were kind of having this conversation. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Like, I don't think I've seen people feel so comfortable to give information to one person. It's very unique, man, from all walks of life, and not just here, but internationally as well. Very unique person.
So the person that I'm referring to is Maverick Carter.
Oh yeah,
he's going to be a billionaire, and you know why I say he has it figured out? Because we've been around him a few different times. We've established a relationship with him. He's a friend of ours, and he's invited us to different things. Everybody else invites us to parties. He invites us to dinners, and his dinners have like 30 people. Maybe one NBA player. Everybody else, you've never heard of any of these people. You know what, man? Like, you talk about relationships. This guy really figured it out. He figured it out as far as, like, his network is crazy. He's not in the mix. He's not going to parties. He's curating the right environment.
Yep.
And I don't think I ever saw him do an interview before. Like, he interviews people on the shop. But I don't know if I ever actually saw Maverick Carter being interviewed. He came to InvestFest. That's legendary. But I don't know if I ever saw him actually sit down for a full-length interview before.
Which is genius.
He's off the radar. Yo, I met the guy that created the App Store.
Let that sit with you.
Telling you, Maverick. Remember, you heard it here first. He's going to become a billionaire on the low.
Here's what also makes him special. Sitting having a conversation, he brings people over, right? Like, he's calling people over so that they know you and you know them.
He does intro.
We met one of the founders of Google, just casually having a conversation. Hey, these are what these guys do. You should meet them. Hey, Mav, is there any way you can connect us after this? Before the night's over, there's a text thread with us in it.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, he's not just hoarding his network, he's sharing his network, which makes him like really unique, like one of a kind special people, man. Just a different dude. And that goes, like I said, not just domestically. When he goes to the UK, it's the same thing. We were sitting there, they were like, yo, the crazy thing about Mav is, like, the networking that he's doing right now, we could go to Paris tonight and he would do the same thing with a different 30 people, and it would be just as impactful.
For the audience listening, though, what other two gems that you gather from him that they need to apply to their lives or their business that you ascertained from Maverick over the weekend?
Well, like I said, the power of relationships and cultivating the relation, because we've seen him in a few different environments, and he knows a lot of people, and these are people that nobody else knows.
Mm-hmm.
That's important because it's like, okay, the obvious criticism is going to be, well, he's LeBron's best friend. Well, we've been around Maverick a bunch of times. Only once was LeBron there, meaning he's not riding LeBron's coattails, or he's not even playing a celebrity game of just hanging around basketball players and wanting to be a celebrity. Yeah, of course, that's an advantage to have LeBron James as your best friend and business partner, of course. But you still gotta take that flame and turn it into, just go crazy, pour gasoline on the fire.
Yeah.
He's done a very good job of that. And he's one of these people that he's a 50-50 dude where he brings his, or like he'll partner with somebody. Like I met the dude that he had, it's a whole thing. But what he does is he throws events in people's houses, and it's like 30 people. And these people are not from our culture. So he'll say, okay, like you bring your crowd and I'll bring my crowd.
Yep.
Right. And
a merger.
It's a merger. Mm-hmm. He's done this several different times. And it's like we saw Tashonda Brown Duckett. If you don't know who Tashonda is, she's one of the only Black women that have ever been the CEO of a Fortune 100 company. She's the CEO of TIAA Craft, one of the largest asset managers in the world. And she's a friend of ours also. She was there. But man, this guy's brilliant how he's able to, and that's why it's all you. It really comes down to who you know. Like it really comes down to who you know.
And I see you guys do this all the time, but can you emphasize the importance of him trying to make the connection opposed to taking something away? Because he seems like a help first kind of person, opposed to give me 50 grand and no, he's connecting the dots and following through, right?
Yeah, I think he's one of the few guys when we talk about he wants to see us all win. Like I firmly believe he wants us to all win. Yeah. Like he's from where we from. Like when what I mean? When I say that, like in the community, like he's from where we from and he wants to see us all win. One of the best things he's ever told me was like, look, I used to sit at Nike in the early days and try to figure out how am I going to become a millionaire. And I sat there and I studied and I've been around people. And once I figured out how to make $1 million, he was like, the money was the easy thing. The relationships, the networking, and the ideas is what I'm here for. He was like, it's All-Star Weekend. There's a plenty of parties going on. I don't care about anything about, like, I'm just here for the people who are in town so I can connect people, put them together in the room. What ideas, what can come from this room? That's it. Yeah. And when with this event is over, I'm out of here. I'm going. Y'all can keep everything else. Everything else is distraction. Entertainment is distraction. I'm here for business, and I'm gonna go do business tomorrow. And I'll be back in New York, and we can sit down and discuss about business again.
I know y'all came here for stocks, but that is a lesson. If you master it, will allow you to make tens of millions of dollars easily in your life and never have to worry about wealth ever again in your family. Even if you think about what generational wealth is, it is the power of connecting all these people together across the globe to make sure that the business keeps running. Like, please do not let that lesson go off your head, because they could have gatekept that information.
Yeah.
Room full of billionaires. And you wouldn't even know.
So the relationships I say that to say, the relationships that you make in life is going to be the most important aspect of your success. Can you be successful without making good relationships? Yeah. Anything is possible. It's harder. It's harder to just stay in your basement and just, make $1 million that way. So, man, the relationships is the key. And like I said, to me, he's the person that I've seen personally that's figured this thing out the best out of people from like our culture. And I'm pretty confident that he'll become a billionaire. And when he does become a billionaire, nobody will probably even know about it. Because he's never around. You're not going to see him.
Yeah,
you're not going to see him unless it's he sits courtside at the Lakers games. But other than that, like he doesn't seek attention. He does not seek attention. He's not flashy. But man, this guy's heavily connected for sure. So shout out to the whole team, Rich Paul, Maverick Carter. But man, Maverick.
Rich another one too. Yeah.
All right. The moment everybody's been waiting for. If you had to select the all-star team of stocks, what would be your starting five?
So you want to do one at a time, or Troy? How you want to break it up? OG.
Yeah. I mean, the NBA did their new version of the All-Star game. So I said let's do it very similar. Let's have an OG team up 5.
Okay.
Let's have a Rising Stars 5, and let's have some international plays. That'll be our 5. So we'll get 15 stocks, and we'll form our team. Y'all with it?
Yeah, I'm good with that. You want to start with the OGs?
All right, let's run down your OGs. Who you got as OGs?
Well, first I'm gonna go with Meta.
Good choice.
Yeah. You?
I'm gonna take Amazon as an OG.
Okay.
Amazon's going on my OG list.
Rashad, you?
Apple.
For sure.
Solid OG.
I got to throw in Lily. That's my Tim Duncan throwback call out.
So we got Meta, we got Lily, we got Amazon, we got Apple. I'm gonna have to put NVIDIA, of course. That'll be my OG.
Sure.
That gives us 5. That gives us 5.
For sure.
Now they had 8 players on the team, but so we can keep going if you want. You want to throw another one?
Microsoft too.
There goes one. That's an OG.
For sure.
And we did meet somebody at Google who was not happy that we have not talked about Google as much as we talk about Apple.
But we had you know what? It was interesting. We had a spirited conversation. I'll leave her name anonymous. I told her we would bring it up tonight. After we had a conversation, she understood our viewpoint. And so shout out to everybody at Google. But I would add that as well.
All I want to see is a live demonstration of that quantum, and I'll wave that flag because I'm ready to break up with Apple. I'm not gonna hold you. Apple, if y'all can unlock my account, we can.
It's a brand loyalty thing, right?
Yeah.
And she understood it very clearly. I'm like, even though we haven't seen innovation, there's a brand loyalty that is just attached to Apple. Your product might be like that Google Pixel potentially is a better product for a number of reasons.
Better.
Gemini has proven to be the most accurate GBT. Is it the most popular? Probably not, right? ChatGPT is still that. So there's a marketing thing that they got to figure out, and it was a great discussion. But Google's there. I think that's 8 now.
Yeah.
We got 8. All right. I know there's a bunch of things people say we're gonna leave off. That's fine. I know we didn't. Broadcom we could put in there, but we're gonna go to our rising stars. So our rising stars.
Oh, we gotta put Bitcoin in the OGs.
OGs? That could be a rising star.
It's been around for 15 years.
Yeah, still that's relatively young.
I mean, NVIDIA.
Rashad met Michael Saylor at All Star.
What'd you say?
I said Rashad met Michael Saylor at All Star.
He was there. Nah, NVIDIA since '86.
I mean, I think to call Bitcoin a rising star is disrespectful. It's the most highest performing investment in the history of the world,
and it still has room. That's what I'm saying. It still has room to ascend, which is like rising star. You see what we did there? A little play on words. All right, so you want to start with the rising stars? You put Bitcoin. All right, we'll start there. All right, so
I'm not gonna lie, it is crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I think it still has room to ascend. That's why, right? And it's been here for 2012, so 13 years. 13 years of a company or an asset, that's fairly new in this space.
Okay.
Yes, it has had the greatest appreciation. No denying that. Yeah. Ian, who you got?
Shout out to Alex Karp and Palantir.
You got Palantir.
Morally still don't love it, but you cannot argue with the impact that it's had. Anduril is not publicly traded yet, so yeah, Palantir.
All right, so you got Palantir. I'm gonna call it all but here because I wanted to put it. I didn't. I'm putting Netflix in my rising stars. So we got Bitcoin, we got Palantir, we got Netflix. Shotty, it's you.
TSM.
Oh,
great call.
That's not international.
I said it before. I'll say it again. Not publicly traded yet, but that combination of Anduril and Starlink are going to be two of the most powerful ones. I know y'all get on me about it because it's not publicly traded yet. When it is, it's going to eat up all the asset allocation. For those of you asking, yo, should I wait to Starlink may be the only company that I ever say when the IPOs get it the day of.
Okay. All right. Now this is like based on the year, right? So like when you make an all-star team, it's based on how you perform the first half of the season.
Yep.
So this one right here, we haven't talked about a lot. I've seen it in the chat almost every week. I'm throwing App Lovin' in the Rising Stars.
For
category.
sure.
You're talking about a company over the past year that has appreciated 790%.
Yes.
790% is a ridiculous return. We looked at the operating margin. We looked at the profit margin. Ridiculous in itself. We'll talk about what it actually does and why it's appreciated like that. This is another AI story. If we're talking about Rising Stars, 1 year return of 790% year to date, that is ridiculous. Somebody said, what is App Lovin'? The ticker is APP. Look it up and then say thank you.
Yes. And this is not a GameStop situation where it goes parabolic and then it falls apart. They'll hold steady.
So how many is that?
All right. So we had TSM, we had Bitcoin, we had Palantir, we had Netflix, and we just said App Lovin'.
I'll give us one more, and
it
pains me to say it, but MicroStrategy.
Okay.
You got to give him credit for what he's done. You got to give him credit.
CrowdStrike also.
So we got MicroStrategy, we got CrowdStrike. I'll give another one. I'm gonna go Vistra here. I'm gonna go VST.
Okay.
I just think the energy sector is gonna have its day. We saw how it performed last year. It was the number one stock in the S&P. So off to a pretty good start this year. Energy is, we're watching it happen, right? We had some conversations with some people from Meta. Shout out to everybody at Meta, all our friends over there. Energy is still the thing, man, right? The $10 billion projects being built. We just heard Amazon saying they're allocating a capex over $100 billion. This ain't going anywhere. We're going to need energy.
Island.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So I'm going VST. And I guess I'll put slash VST and Arista Networks. ANET is a ticker. So VST and ANET. I'm going to put two there. Rising Stars. That's solid. All right. That's a solid Rising Stars. So now we got to do our international. So this is our international starting five for our all-star stocks. You want to start it off?
I haven't talked about this one in a while, but this one of my babies I talked about in 2020, 2021. Mercado Libre, absolutely on fire. Like, I won't say the Amazon of, but Mercado Libre, if you ever been to any Latin country, you know the stranglehold that it has performed incredibly well. And one of my favorite stocks for sure. Definitely pricey. It's at 2109 right now, but if you look back in 2020, it was in the 600s. It's at 2100 now. If you go back to 2018, it's at 339. It's the power of long-term holding, especially in international markets. Home run.
That's a solid one. Hey, Noberto, I see you in the chat talking about that company. Shout out to everybody that was at the mastermind. We went over that company. But Noberto, I see you, my boy. I see you. You're putting it. I'm recognizing you. Ian, we know about it. Appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure.
For
sure. Injury reserve.
I'm gonna go with the Goliath of all international stocks here. If we're leading in terms of market cap, I'm gonna go Saudi Aramco. When we talk about market caps in the top 10, this used to be the leader, and now it sits at like number 3 or 4. So I'm gonna go Saudi Aramco with our second pick here.
Yeah. Rashad?
TSM.
You got this. Game over.
TSM
you
definitely.
Like that won the Mr. Beast challenge from half court.
Yeah, that has to sit there. TSM has.
Are we going to talk about that All-Star game too on Blackout? We're going to talk about
immediately
slam dunk contest, then the 3-point contest, and the All-Star format. We will talk about that on Blackout.
Can we talk about LeBron showing up and taking the pictures in his dress clothes?
LeBron, the best that ever did.
Why you hate Jaylen Brown so much?
Why does LeBron hate Jaylen Brown?
Yeah.
I don't think he hates him.
Hate Jaylen Brown.
If I walk in the room and there's 22 of us.
Oh, he didn't dap him up, right? Yeah. No, It just was very awkward to see him like show up to the All-Star game an hour before, say I'm not playing, wear your street clothes, don't put the uniform on.
It's like Michael Jordan used to be able to scream at the refs, right? Jordan rules. They wrote a book called Jordan Rules.
It's fact.
So LeBron,
sure.
it's LeBron rules. You earned it. He earned the
He's
right.
20.
He earned the right to. And I know people like they could have had a reserve. No. Okay, nobody replaced LeBron, yo.
But he's still All-Star if they had a reserve. Like Giannis is a reserve. He didn't play, but they put somebody else in. He just suited up and was like, "Yo, I'm here for the activities." But we'll come back. Y'all got that on Wednesday.
On the product, he got to be in there for McDonald's to cut that check. I love Melo and his brother. Swerve hit that corner, but it ain't the same.
Yes.
And refund, charge back. Ooh.
We got
Joshua King.
We got Mercado Libre. We got Saudi Aramco. Obviously, TSM. I'm gonna go with another one in the semi space. I spoke about it. I mean, pretty regularly. If I got TSM, I got to put ASML as well. So I'm putting that in our 5. So ASML is coming off the board here. Solid international team.
Yeah.
What you got?
I was about to say ASML, but then you took my pick, so I'm just on a.
You want me to throw another one?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is, I mean, solid company, and we spoke about it with partnership inside of Diageo, which would be another international, but LVMH.
Oh my God, who will be there at Carnegie Hall February 27th?
Come on, you see what we doing it? You see what we did there?
I see what you did. Good job. Good job. Man. Well played. Which is actually part of the reason why Nike fell apart. Shout to Kyrie, shout to Jaylen Brown, shout to, well, we can't say shout to Kanye because he's been going crazy, but those are the big reasons why Nike fell apart. But LVMH, dominant stock. Talk about conglomerate.
I mean, that's luxury personified. Every brand you can think of in terms of luxury outside of maybe Gucci and a few others, it's them. It's them.
Yeah. Smoking on the Versace pack, boy. Ooh, it's over with.
We got any more? I know people putting it in the chat, and I know we wanted to say it. We talked about it before we started, Ian, but I don't.
Listen, Alibaba's on injury reserve until I know what Xi Jinping and that regime is doing. They have a few companies over there that I love, but until there's a clear route to freedom, no pun intended.
To freedom.
Can't do it. Free the bros.
Free the bros. Shout out to Jack and all the people over there.
All right.
Where Jack at? That's a solid team. That's a solid team of all-stars. Solid team.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? What's going on with all the celebrities making meme coins all of us? I saw
no, we're gonna talk about that.
Our guy.
Blackout.
Okay.
Which guy? Wait, which one of our guys? The
Adam 22.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw another one of our
guys.
Himself.
I'm not tearing a black man down on Black History Month. You crazy? Adam 22 got a meme coin coming out. Dave Portnoy had one. What? Hawk Tua back outside. Oh my God.
She is. Yeah, she got one. Yeah, she got one.
Yeah.
10 cents is another good one. I see that. Shout out to Trap Zero. 10 cents. It was on the list. It just didn't make the 5. That's a good one too. Obviously, we know. But if they lose ownership of TikTok, that's gonna look a lot different. Although TikTok is only like 10% of the portfolio. They got so many other things, another conglomerate.
Yeah.
But it's still a huge loss if you lose TikTok.
Oh, international player, how forget this? Even though y'all helped kill my boy career, Spotify.
Yo, why kill his career?
Yo, we gonna
shout out to Wireless Festival.
Shout out to the Wireless Festival. Shout out to Drake.
3 nights in a row.
Dad, Yeba, everybody. But man, we have to have a conversation Wednesday about this album. If I see you at Bungalow, you're still my guy. This just wasn't it.
Shout out to Kung Fu Kenny. 230,000 albums sold last week after the Super Bowl performance. #1 album in the country again. Shout out to Kung Fu Kenny and GNX album and everybody over there at TD and PG Lang. Shout out to y'all. Run up the numbers, y'all. Keep running them.
Run up his numbers while my Joe called.
Yo, man, it's music. This is rap.
It's Black History Month.
Yeah, it's rap on me. It's rap on
me.
Yeah. I did see Jay-Z. Somebody said that y'all see Jay-Z partnered on a platform for artists to be able to have shares in their royalties like Trey, like Style. Yes, I did see that LaRussell actually posted it because
did.
that's something that LaRussell championed for
Yeah.
a few years. So shout out to LaRussell. Shout out to Hove.
Mhm.
Shout out to
Yeah.
everybody that's involved in
The
that
whole
situation.
And that's what one of the things about Russell. I mean, that was just a stand-up response rather than saying, yo, he took my idea, yo, they stole it. His thing was like, congratulations to him. He was in position to scale an idea that I had. Everybody, it's a win for everybody. So shout out. I mean, that's a mature response from a guy who's like, yo, I appreciate it. We're not tearing you down. You were in position, you had the capital, you had the resources to find a company to scale the idea. Kudos to you.
Also, you can't punch up at Thanos. Good brand lesson. You got to know who you can punch up at versus go hit you with that laser beam. he not the one.
Hey, Beard
The
Bonnets.
boy found out. What?
We're very aware of what happened this weekend, Beard Bonnets.
Bear
gonna be
number
on the-
one at
that's
Drake's
gonna be on the
funeral.
blackout list for sure.
Yeah.
Salute to Hove. Okay. And also congratulations to Junior Bridgman. Forbes
For sure.
has confirmed that he is now officially a billionaire. Junior Bridgman spoke at InvestFest 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Another one that doesn't really speak too much. He was actually on a panel with Rich Paul, him and Rich Paul. But Junior Bridgman he spoke at InvestFest and he is a billionaire. His story is crazy. If you haven't, we've talked about it, but look it up. Went from a modest NBA player to owning Burger King, Wendy's, and became the largest Wendy's franchisee in America, and then brought a bottle plant in Canada, and he's just been wheeling and dealing. I think he owns Ebony Magazine or Jet Magazine, one of the two.
Both.
So Junior Bridgman is officially a billionaire. Congratulations. And I put that on Instagram today. There's 22 black billionaires in the world. We had 3 at InvestFest. We have 4, but they took that billionaire status away from the 4th one. But
and Don might be up there now.
Yeah. So we have 3 out of 22. So that's 14%. So we've had 14% of the world's black billionaires at InvestFest in 4 years. And then we've had other white billionaires too. We've had Mike Novogratz. We've had Dan Cathy. So who will it be this year?
The streak shall continue.
Who will it be?
The streak shall continue.
Who do you want to see? Who do you want to see? You don't have to be the billionaire, but who do you want to see at InvestFest? Put in chat. Who do you want to see at InvestFest 2025? Put in chat. Oh. Oh.
I told you. Go back and listen to the early episodes if we ever did get Hove. Leisure's been earned.
I see Hove. I see Michael Saylor. Aliko Dangote. A lot of people put Aliko Dangote on Instagram.
Yeah, saw that too.
Shout out to Aliko Dangote, the richest black person in the world right now, currently.
That would be. I mean, all of those guys are incredible.
From my hometown too. Everybody in Northwest Indiana, East Chicago. Gary Hammond, inspiration. Boy, I said okay.
Oh yeah, he's from where you're from, right?
Yeah, from East Chicago, Indiana. Legend. Number one.
Absolutely.
For sure. Fawn Weaver, shout out to her. She's doing a thing too.
Incredible.
They said her company's worth $1 billion.
Incredible.
Forbes reported that.
Fawn is incredible. Yeah. Oh, like businesswoman, but just like an incredible person too. Shout out to her. Yeah, we've sat with her a few times.
But that's another thing too, before we go back, is that we still our business people are not highlighted enough. And it's like Fawn Weaver, right? Like people should know who she is. Junior Bridgman, people should know who he is. Of course they know who Maverick Carter is, they know who Rich Paul is, but there's a lot of people that's out here, even like the brother that owns Calendly.
Calendly, yep.
He's a billionaire.
Quiet killer.
And nobody knows him. Nobody knows him. People just started to find out who Robert Smith was, honestly.
Yeah.
David Stewart, people just are now starting to find out who David Stewart is. So it's a lot of people. Tashonda. We've done our part, but just as a whole, we over-index in the nonsense too much. Like even like a lot of the podcasts, it's not helpful. It's not beneficial. it's comedy or it's sports or it's music, and that's fine, that's cool, but it's over index. It's like 95%. We 95% index on nonsense.
Yep.
And that's a problem. That's a problem.
Because we're the only culture that gets pushed entertainment, and the thought is, well, let's just have fun. It was just an Aspen having a blast. I'm going to tell you, if you don't have money, having money is way more fun than entertaining love and hip hop drama. And being able to take care of your family and have freedom and help others out, like I'm gonna do tonight. I'll put y'all cash apps in the comments real quick for me. Thank you, please. But we're the only community that ever gets told, just focus on this garbage entertainment here. Forget the wealth part. Have all your joy in the afterlife, and then let every other community take the asses from around us. No, we're not having that anymore.
Yeah. Shout out to Gary who put in the comments. I was actually going to say Melody Hobson as well. You're talking about somebody, Ariel Investments, the president, the CEO, actually married to a billionaire. And so, yeah, just another person like we don't know, but we should know, because you want to talk about trailblazing. I mean, I think she might have left, but she was on the board of Starbucks. Incredible career in investment.
Starbucks, y'all in trouble.
Let's wake it up. It's damn near over, right?
The protest is hurting.
Yeah.
Mr.
Nichols, Mr. Nichols.
Starbucks is in trouble.
Mr. Nichols, you on the clock. You think he'll figure it out?
No.
You're in trouble.
You don't think he's going to figure it out?
I'm going to say it's a combination of factors. Same with alcohol. There's a revolution of people realizing alcohol isn't good for you. And at the same time, having a cup of sugar to start your day is not best for productivity or your health. I keep saying it. There's for sure. And there's a reason why companies will use black ambassadors. The other part of it is when we're done messing with you, it hurts your brand. Nike's going through it. Those customers being kicked out of that cafe, it doesn't get talked about enough as a linchpin to the company going down. It severely affected that company. So you guys think you can just do whatever by white people, by black people, because we got MAGA in. Y'all was pre-MAGA. Finito. And Dutch Bros is on your ass. Dunkin' is on your ass. And it's a lot of, now when you get into that food and services business, you have a bunch of places that give a better dining experience, or the food is better. When's the last time you went in a Starbucks and you like, this was absolutely amazing? You'd be hard pressed to. Keurig is on your ass.
Look at that.
America runs on Dunkin'.
For sure. Howard Schultz stay up all night. Howard Schultz drink Keurig coffee.
Yo, you spoke
Cash apps. The Cash apps are
they're running crazy.
Cash apps going crazy.
You brought up Nike.
And I'm doing the show. I'm gonna call you back, baby. I love you.
I told you.
Bye-bye. He gonna call if he get through. He don't care what's going on.
Yo, you brought up Nike. They made an announcement today that they're actually partnering with Kim Kardashian and Skims for a collaboration. This is interesting. This is interesting because this is a space where they've been getting their back kicked in from Lululemon, from a bunch of companies that have come into the space because they don't feel like athleisure is something that Nike excels at. What are your thoughts around Skims Nike? Is this the catapult that helps them get back on brand and become the leader that they once were known for?
Shout out to Mama Kardashian for setting it up. Shout out to Kim. Shout out to Kanye for the 10% equity that I still think you may have in it. But it's like, damn, you gonna screw her ex-husband and give her the deal that he's supposed to have? What? No, this is like, it's like when Drake put out this album with P&D. This ain't the move after that boy put 72 shots in your car. No. What? No.
Shout out to Melissa Ford.
So, do I think it'd be a dope collab for Kim? Yes. For Nike, not so much. The North Face collab was strong. Like, even in just comparing brands, North Face is kicking Nike back in. That collab that she had with North Face went crazy, instant sellout. This will do well for her, but it won't affect the price at all. It's a culture issue that's like Starbucks, Intel, Nike. Apple is like slowly going through it. It's a culture issue. You got too complacent. This ain't gonna do it. Now, if they bring her on for maybe a 5-year partnership, great. But like a one-off collab, nah.
Yeah, Bill Ackman has taken a heavy position in Nike over the past month. It's actually the number one thing inside of Pershing Holdings right now.
Yeah,
which is like really interesting. But okay, we'll watch it.
Just gave out $500 on Cash App.
Shout out to the Cash Apps.
Just gave out $500 on Cash App.
Let's get it going. Money wars.
We back to that. That's the day ones. Remember that.
Just
for sure.
The day ones. Remember that.
A little charity work never hurt.
We appreciate y'all.
Times is hard out here, man.
That's a fact.
They selling eggs Lucy style.
I saw that in a bodega. Ooh.
Fact.
They selling Lucy egg?
Fact.
For real.
In the Bronx.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not man. How you like what you do? You bring it to how's that happen?
You go to this bodega.
You say, let me get this,
and you buy an egg.
Like one?
Like $2, yeah.
$2?
I don't know how much and get 3 eggs.
Yeah, they selling eggs by the one. By the onesie.
Yo, the Bronx, man. Shout out to the Bronx.
Innovation.
What?
The crazy part, watch a company do it. Chanel Bethea, I just sent you a Cash App. Appreciate you.
Yes, appreciate y'all.
The Lucy play. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. Here's a big one. What is your strategy for investing $100,000 to maximize returns while managing risk? So if somebody has $100,000 right now. Somebody has $100,000 right now.
Yeah.
What's the strategy?
I'm gonna spice it up. Put half of it into index funds at a price point that I call. So VOO, VTI, VGT on a drop. You don't want to put it in at an all-time high. Cool. The second part, you want to pick 2 technology stocks. But I don't care. Like, this is my strategy, whether it's 1,000, 10,000, 100, 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, 1 billion. Half into index funds and the other half into tech. So if you want to minimize your risk, which Apple or Microsoft already does, you have to also factor in, while mitigating the risk, are you minimizing the returns? So if you have a company like NVIDIA, let's say Tesla may draw down 40% at any given time, right? But you may miss out on 400% over a 4 or 5 year period by not investing into it. So you have to define your risk appetite, but the strategy has to be put half of it into tech. Your life runs on tech. We're on YouTube, Google right now. Most of you are working off of Microsoft products. Like, the strategy doesn't change, but the price points in which you enter are going to matter a lot more, because it's tough to see your account dwindle from 100 grand down to 60 grand because you bought at a high, or you wanted to buy GameStop or do 0-day traded options, some BS like that. So pick the 2 companies that you love, whether OpenAI gets bought out or they go public. Microsoft is sitting on a windfall of money coming in. Great. As much as I think Apple could innovate, they're still going to outpace the market. They're still going to give you a great return. They're not going to argue. The more money that you have, the safer bet Apple is for you if you have a lot of money. So half into index funds, VO, or some S&P equivalent, and then the other into Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA. If Lilly was at a lower price, maybe, but you have to do half tech and half index, no matter how much money you have. All the remixing is why that bag gets messed up. Now I get to talk. I gave you the soft soliloquy. You get the fucking your money up. Somebody is GameStop going to research? Bro, this is not 2019. No, that company was garbage then. Intel, garbage. Like, and here's another tip. Listen to what I tell you. If I made you money, please put yes in chat. It's not that hard. This ain't 2006. I don't want y'all. I don't know what a PE ratio is. No. Listen. They'll tell you every week, yo, go network, and I'll see y'all at InvestFest on your phone, face down, not getting no action in them DMs. Everybody's here at network. He just told you to play. Put 30 people in the room. Pop the balloon challenge business edition. What? Yo, Shawty, what's the networking tip of the week? Go put 30 people in a room and connect them. This year's about execution, hands down.
Facts. All facts.
Okay.
The $100,000 play. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That I actually in 2021, like I'd had the $100,000 investment. Shout out to everybody that was at Market Mondays live at the Apollo. Like our first one.
Yeah.
When I broke down that 100,000, it was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it in 3 ETFs. At the time, I was doing long-term option leaps on them. SMH was one, XLK was one, XLY was the other. I took that 100 and I put 33, which was 99 at the time. So I left like 1,000 over. And I actually spoke in Brooklyn the other day. I was talking to some adults and some of the teachers, and they were like, wow, man, that's a lot. And I'm like, well, obviously it's risk management. You're not going to put your last 100 or your last 10,000 or your last 1,000.
Yeah.
But taking an educated stance on it, obviously before I was going to do it, I remember sitting in Cali, waking up at 6 in the morning, like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And that was a lucrative return. Like those 3 investments appreciated by 1,200% at minimum each. So yes, some of y'all are doing the calculations. Yeah, that was a hell of an investment at the time. So I know like 100,000 is like, well, I don't have 100. Well, you might have 1,000, and so you may create or 10,000, right? But you can figure out how much you're going to allocate to each position. Notice I said 3 ETFs because there's some protection there, right? If the market moves in a sector, then that sector will go. If NVIDIA, which was in estimation, it wasn't even the largest allocation at the time. If that pulled back, I'm somewhat protected because it's not the only thing that estimation invests in. So yeah, that was actually my $100,000 strategy.
Motion 911. I sent you 500 on Cash App. I appreciate you.
Cash App, Poppy.
For sure.
Hugs for you.
I'm the investment though. Yeah, I'm Bitcoin.
Toshi in the flesh.
In real life.
In real life.
Oh.
Shout out to Granny that's still watching. I'm telling them they're keeping it clean, Granny. I got you. Appreciate y'all. He's trying his best.
Trying my best.
And then also I would say Serena Williams, she's gonna become a billionaire too.
Yes.
So that was a lot of focus as far as her crip walking, but what's not as focus is that she's one of the most successful VCs in the game right now as far as what she's been able to accomplish in a short period of time. So she's quickly on her way to become a billionaire.
Yeah, Serena Ventures, nothing to be played with. Go look at the portfolio.
For sure. Okay. So
another lesson: don't make 60 enemies in 2 years and then expect to have a career after either.
Yo, Ian, like, come on,
listen,
man.
I sent that little text this weekend. All that defendant, bruh.
Wireless Festival, man. Wireless Festival in July, man. Make sure y'all pull up 3 nights. Vibes Cartel's in the building. Burner Boy's in the building. The Mandem's in the building.
You better go make up a Burner Boy too. Are you playing real quick? Yeah,
he good. He good. Burner Boy good. Shout out to Gigs, man.
Him too. You better go Guile Chester again. You better go back to Brampton, Western Flows, my boy. Anyway, Rashad, I got you.
So if you had to restart today from scratch, knowing everything you know now, what would be the first 3 money moves? So for me, I'll answer this question first.
Yeah.
For me personally, you starting from scratch, investing is not a top priority for me. Not to say that that's not something that, but I feel like if you have no money, your priority, how you going to invest money if you don't have money? Mm-hmm. I would figure out.
Does it mean like dead broke, you think?
Huh?
Or you think it means like dead broke, like $0?
Oh, scratch. That's what I was referring. Yeah, okay, I guess. Okay. Or like $1,000.
1,000. Gotcha.
Yeah. And let's do this too. Let's take a pause on the Cash Apps. We will resume this at the end of the episode.
Yeah, we close to a nice number too.
We will resume the Cash App giveaway.
Or when we get to 8,500, y'all invite 5 friends.
8,500. We will resume. We will put a pause on the Cash App. We've given away probably close to $1,000 so far, but we will resume this towards the end of the episode, or when we get to 8,500, whichever comes first.
Yeah.
So we can pause the Cash App comment.
Fiasco. Yes.
That would be
Bring the speakers
helpful.
on.
What speaker?
On
Are you
your phone.
referring to? My speaker's not on.
Oh, I thought I had an echo.
Okay. Okay.
Part-time baddie is a funny Cash App name, though.
Part-time baddie?
Yeah. You better go trademark that before I got an idea.
Just your speakers on.
My speaker's not on.
I don't hear nothing.
No, yeah. My speaker's not on. All right. Okay. So, having said that, starting from scratch, I would figure out a low overhead service-based business. I'm just speaking from personal experience. I can only give you my personal experience. So like when I was in the financial services industry selling insurance, there's a lot of different stuff that you can do like this, like car insurance, life insurance, different type of, service-based industry, because I feel like there's always an opportunity to make money on commissions. And if I was dead broke, I would call my friends. Now, this is important. I wouldn't call my friends to ask them for money.
Mm-hmm.
I would call my friends to tell them what I'm doing. So when I started in financial services, I used to have it's called Project 100, where you list 100 people that you know. Everybody, your friend's parents, your kid you went to college with, somebody you played basketball with, everybody. This is your network of people, right? So I would reach out to every single person that I know and tell them what I'm doing, and try to actually sell them products. Like I said, I mean, I can only speak for personal experience, what I actually did in real life.
Yeah.
And then from there, I would hone in on my referrals and get referred to those people that they know, all while reinvesting the profits, living in as low cost environment as possible. If living with your parents is an option, then that's a good option. If whatever, renting a room, whatever you gotta do, not spending money on overhead, reinvesting the money. Yep. Social media would come, but I would focus on social media afterwards. But I feel that the business aspect is the most important aspect first, because you have to generate money to actually get into the groove of actually being able to invest. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are like, well, what kind of business should I start? Like I said, there's always room for a service-based business. There's always going to be somebody that's going to have to sell you car insurance. There's always going to be somebody that's going to have to sell life insurance. There's always going to be somebody that's, in that type of vein, health insurance, whatever it is. There's always money. There's always money to be made in a very short period of time. You don't have to go to college for these type of situations. And that's what I would do. So, but what would you do?
Same as you. I can only talk from personal experience. First, you have to build a business, because the highest returns that you're going to get that are going to outpace the market for sure is by starting your own business. After that, you got to pick a number, 50%, 60%, put it into long term. So that takes care of your future number. So important caveat is that too. And I know people hate when I say this. You have to stay your ass inside doors. Costs a lot of money to be outside, and people don't want to do it. And I get it, because you are thinking about now. But I look back at all those seasons that I missed of going to games. Oh, I get to have a ball and do what the hell I want to now. And then third, you got to hit that futures market. You got to pick a target that if your life is on the line, this is the target that I'm going to use to be able to hit. And Red Panda, you know what that target is. But the three for me is start a business. 2, puts 50 or 60% of the money into stocks long term. 3rd, trade futures. And if I can add a 4th, find a way to help other people first and get them a result so they can then come back and then pay me. The reason why I started with the Yes and Chad and started on social media back in 2016, 2017, just giving away for free. If I help you make money first, I'll be able to call that favor back upon you later. So I wouldn't do anything different. But it's really important too, the other part of this question, is to never get back to the point where you're starting from scratch. Timing is important in some of this. Like Intel never thought they would lose that lead. And because they didn't keep reinvesting into the business and keep innovating, now you have 5 other players that are light years ahead of you. Just because you are able to do it one time does not mean that you are able to do it again. Sometimes timing, luck, and market fit is really important. When we first started doing the show, nobody black was talking about investing. Now it's soiree. Cool. That's why what Mav is doing is so smart. Mav just won't tell you a thing. Run the Billy up. Then I'll tell you about it once I'm at 8 billion in the book come out. That's my new move for 25 through 35. The next couple plays y'all see publicly, decoys. Cool. Never tell you the real play. Y'all gonna see me snowboarding. Cool. Keyshawn White on the hills. Cool. Y'all never tell you the real plays. Sorry, you fucked it up. Sorry, Granny.
Damn.
We gotta talk about the snowboarding play too. Your comments was going crazy.
They wasn't happy about that.
It's not that they wasn't happy. A little surprised.
A little surprised with you.
A little surprised.
I'll go with the
a little surprised at me.
Yeah. You as well. I'm happy. I was happy for you, my brother. So shout out to Edwin. Me and Edwin was both happy.
You gotta pop out the show.
Shout out to Edwin. That's I'll take the
but
approach.
If I'm coach you too, on top of that, then speed matters in execution. That's we talk about it here on Blackout, but
what speed matters? Speed matters. What you mean?
And a good investment.
You mean like to lock something down? What you mean?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
No, I'm Jackson.
We'll go further in detail in Blackout.
I was gonna say right for if we're talking personal stories, like mine would be like find a job that you can create multiple streams from. And so like everybody hears the story of like, yo, I was a phys ed teacher, but before I was ever that, I was a hall monitor, bro. Like I was the guy sitting in the hallway reading books, telling kids to go to class, checking for hall passes. While I was doing that, I was a tutor, right? I'm trying to find another stream. While I was doing that, I was coaching. Right. While I was doing that, I was running after school programs. While I was doing that, I was running summer programs. And so I had like different streams of income. So like not only was I getting paid for doing like, I mean, it wasn't even much, but to be working in a school because I just wanted to have experience working in schools. I created multiple streams from just that, which allowed me to put some money into investing. And obviously, as my career changed and I became a teacher, then obviously, I mean, I still had those streams, but it was like, all right, now there's more money to invest. Then creating a business because I had enough to say, all right, well, I have this career. I can go venture off in the world of entrepreneurship. That helped as well. But like, figure out how you're going to create multiple streams from where you're at, right?
For sure.
And it could be, like I said, hall monitor, no joke. And no disrespect to anybody that's a hall monitor. I was that. You can create multiple streams.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cold in the hallway, bro. You know, heat in the hallway.
And an asthma, frigid.
In Colorado, hit the like button and share.
Shout out to her for playing that.
Ski.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show.
For sure. And got a concussion snowboard. I was like, oh my god.
Did you? You went with the snowboard? Oh, you did say snowboard. You're not really a skier.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. So
shout out to Kendrick Lamar. That was another thing. There's a lot of backlash on that last Blackout episode. People were very unhappy.
For sure.
Kendrick Lamar take. But shout out to Kendrick.
And I want to say this too. I'm going to cut you off. Stop with all that OVO thing because I'm too rich in real life to be bought by anybody. So we're going to talk in real life. Next to Drake, when we go net worth, if I'm going to be, can't be bought by nobody. Y'all have sold y'all soul for less than the shit we've been offered. I promise you. Stop with that. But the problem is, in y'all real life, y'all don't go to bat for the people who in y'all real life like how I do, because he was cordial them a couple of times I ran into him.
Drake was cordial to you?
Yeah, and he's been cordial to y'all too when y'all ran into him 4 or 5 times y'all ran into him.
I've never ran into Drake.
No. We ran into him. Don't do that.
Cap.
No, that's it. I'm leaving, man. Y'all gonna stop this. He was cordial to us.
Yeah.
We met and it was cordial. We had a good time.
Now he has some flaws and things.
Yo, man, he lost a battle, man. We can't just throw him away. He lost a battle.
Yeah. But it's a good lesson. I think
he's in my top 5. we got to talk about our top 5 too on Black. We got a lot to talk about on
sure.
Blackout, but Drake's in my top 5 of ever in history of rap.
Yeah.
He's in my top 5. Kendrick Lamar's
But
in
I
my
think
top
it's a
5
good
too.
business lesson too.
That's updated. We just updated
We're
that.
gonna talk about, and Tupac has been
It's been removed.
Tupac has been
We're not
removed.
finna fucking do this.
We're gonna
shit.
talk
No,
about
no. Yo, it was an updated conversation. Shout out to our brother
Come on,
Sticks.
bro.
It Sticks, man.
Kendrick
He
gonna
over,
play Tupac.
yeah. It's Sticks' fault. He over indexes on disrespect, and so we had an hour-long spirited conversation, and that was one of the revelations of the conversation.
Kendrick
But-
hasn't been more disrespectful than Tupac was to Big.
nah, Kendrick. The most
He was. Yeah,
Kendrick
it
the
was.
most
It was.
disrespectful.
It was.
Kendrick
it
the most
was.
disrespectful rapper in
Yeah,
history.
No,
yeah.
that's cap, yo.
He told the boy to use
Yo,
some
he-
ayahuasca.
He
Like,
put his son. He made a whole verse to his son,
yeah.
and then
I'll
a whole
knock
verse to
down
his
Faith.
father.
What is we talking about?
No,
Yeah, that's
not-
different.
not-
That
that's-
If she
happens.
That's
fuck
not as
CBJ,
bad.
she'll fuck Tupac. We not
That's
doing
not
this.
as
That
We get
happens,
this back
though.
out
That's
there.
That happens.
That's not
Yo,
as bad. That's not
sorry,
as bad.
sorry, Granny. Sorry, Granny.
Sorry, Granny. Go to-
That's not as bad as Meet the Grams. Meet the Grams.
Oh, what I will say, hey, they boy, they got some other information on you too that you need to. If you're gonna keep with the beef thing, you need to stop. Shout out to DJ Head. Shout out to Prob.
So you paid for dinner at Tatiana's?
Yeah, shout out to Tatiana's. Okay. Between VEU and DXUS, which one do you like better?
That's why I be getting into all them issues.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Great question. Once again, both are great investments. So usually, if the results are comparable, they're close in performance, invest in both. Both are pretty much equally paired. If you want a different type of exposure to a different sector that we don't talk about, they're both good. This is like picking between, I don't know. You name me 2 players that are comparable in the All-Star game.
In the
Y'all know that y'all GMs, y'all won 2 years in a row.
We did not win this year.
We did not win. Yeah.
In my eyes, y'all won.
I was being there.
We make our own narratives.
Yeah. Why not, man?
Hey, if he can lie and say Bill Clinton came over there and gave y'all the money for Ghana, y'all won.
So we met with Adam Silver.
Appreciate it. Casanat on the check-in. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Both of those are Vanguard, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we kind of referenced it earlier, but Warren Buffett, he sold all his shares in VOO. I know that's something that we've been praising for 6 years, 5 years for sure. For the start of this show, is that a sign of something when you start seeing indexes get sold by the greatest investor of all time?
No. For me personally, not. We don't know his motivations for selling, whether it's profit taking or to have cash on the sidelines. And once again, as much as I love Warren, the idea, there's 2 types of information. The information that you give to a retail audience in an interview when somebody from CNBC asks you, where should everyone park their money, to not give a real answer, i.e. Maverick. There's an alpha on keeping the information to yourself. Put it in SPY, VO, easy answer. What is he actually allocated in? That was never one of his biggest positions anyway. So I wouldn't be worried. Vanguard is also like aggressively cutting fees to eat up more of the ETF market share. So now, do I think he's stockpiling for a reason? For sure. Are they going through some transitional things at Berkshire and they're like their own mini index? For sure. But this wouldn't cause me to worry. Now, if you saw all the Apple position over a certain period of time, that will cause some concern. I think Vanguard
he did shave some Apple last year.
He shaved.
Yeah. They, from his quote is that he's seeing casino-like behavior inside the market. So he completely sold all of his shares of SPY and VOO, which weren't large allocations, like you said, inside his portfolio. But he did buy them in 2019, so he saw the appreciation last year.
He got a great return on it.
Yeah, 24%. I think it may have something to do with that piece, right? Like how many, and we referenced it before, how many years has the S&P done 20% 3 years in a row? Like it rarely does that happen. So rare. But it might be something there. I thought what was interesting is what he did add to. So like he added, millions of shares. I think 12 million shares of Sirius XM. And he added,
I still can't figure out
I'm puzzled by that. I don't
what
know.
the move is here.
It's like,
I mean, I know Call Her Daddy popular, but if
what
that can't be the sole reason.
12 million shares there, nearly 2 million shares he added to his Domino's position. And Domino's is one of those stocks we've spoken about in the past in terms of the tech play inside of that.
Yeah.
But the serious one, I don't know. I have to figure this out.
Yeah. I've been trying to search online. I can't find a good reason as to why. If you're gonna do linear TV, linear radio, there's other companies that are available that you could have bought positions in that are better positioned. So
okay. Somebody in the chat said, what do you think about Bill Ackman's $2 billion Uber purchase?
I think it's a smart investment. I think he may be a little bit late-ish. I've been giving Dar credit since we saw him in DC for turning the company around. Underappreciated CEO, but I think it's a good addition to Bill's portfolio. I don't always like all of his picks, but with this one, he did pretty well.
Yeah, I looked at his portfolio, and there's not many. There's not many that I like either.
Not many. Yeah, and he's not looking to hold a bunch of them for a long period. He's more of a thematic investor than macro or sector related. Great investor, but it's very interesting how he structures his portfolio.
He's pulled some rabbits out the hat over the past few years. I mean, definitely an influential dude and has done a great job, obviously.
For sure.
Yeah, that one I'm not. I like Uber. I'm just not sure about Ackman's portfolio at this point.
It's not one of my favorites by far. Great investor, but not one of my favorites at all.
Chat, what's the deal? Chat, what is the deal? We are live on a Monday, President's Day.
Yes, we are.
Dead presidents every day.
For sure.
Novo. 52-week
low.
Oh,
baby.
Yeah.
52-week low. Is it time to abandon the stock?
Yeah, the stock looking flatter than Ice Spice. When you took too much of their drugs. And it's not doing the best right now. Shout out to Ice Spice, Tail Team. See you. But once again, Novo, great run. They're not Eli Lilly. All the next LeBron, next Jordan, next Tom Brady's, next Steve Jobs, that shit never comes. Invest in the best in class. Do I think they'll have a recovery? But I think what is going to start happening over the next, and a lot of these companies and sectors are falling apart because of RFK, for sure. But I don't think people have taken into consideration what the side effects are for GLP-1s, if you're on them for a prolonged period of time, if you're not diabetic or pre-diabetic. And I think maybe in the next year, some of that information will come out. And I think investors are just front running the eventual devastation that is to come of what is exposed about GLP-1s.
I think part of the success is that nobody calls them GLP-1s. Like when you talk about weight loss drug, the first name is Ozempic. It's become like Band-Aid in terms of adhesives, because you don't say Wegovy, right? You'll say Eli Lilly, but you won't say the actual drug that they've created. And when you think weight loss, you think Ozempic. But as more people come into the space, more competitors come into the space, American-made companies. I mean, if you've seen nothing over the past 4 weeks, there is a onus on American first companies, and Lilly is that. Novo definitely is not. So it's going to be an interesting year for them.
And if we're looking at it, heads up, Novo is a great company still, but if you look at like the suite of offerings that Lilly has, they can't compete with that. They can't compete. Like they sliders like in 2K.
Yeah, like
98 and everything.
Yeah.
Almost every category they have a solid drug, to say the least. So and a better ran management team. So but this is why it's important to buy in at the right price so you don't panic in these moments. Just buying based on theme alone is not a good enough reason to buy. I actually do like it if it gets to like 70 or like 61. Definitely at 53, I love it. At 53, I love Novo.
Magic Johnson, he's another one of these guys. He's a billionaire. Ooh.
Yep.
He's a billionaire. He's been killing
it. Yes, he is.
He's been killing it.
Go Commanders.
Shout out to Magic, man. Okay. In today's market, is wealth built faster through extreme focus on one asset class or through diversification?
Going back to Warren Buffett, greatest investor of all time. Classic quote. I think the 87 Berkshire letter is diversification for people who don't know what they're doing. Extreme focus. I mean, living example, me investing, then media. I don't know how many more examples that you need of just hunkering down and when people say reinvest into the business, that is hyper concentration. I think too often people think that you need 72 different ways to make money. And it's like, if you find a machine that is working, you have to keep pouring into it. NVIDIA, after they built that superpower that they had, they did not go build a social media app. They just kept reinvesting. Microsoft kept reinvesting. Apple kept reinvesting. Tesla kept reinvesting. So no, and I know some people are going to say even with Tesla, when he got into robotics, that was a part of his original plan. If you go look back in 2014, 2015, that was a part of his original vision back then. So you got to focus on one thing. I know the illusion is told that you need a bunch of diversification, but notice when you hear all of these stories of people who have gotten mega wealthy, they've rinsed and repeated the same idea or thing that got them in. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's laser focus. I mean, people ask us why we talk about technology all the time. I'm like, well, that's the if you look at the growth of the economy, that's what's leading it. And so we want to make sure that we're investing in that. But let's figure out a sector inside of technology, which is why we talk about semis. Well, I definitely talk about semis all the time, because if we look at the growth over the past 5 to 6 years, that has led it, right? There was a time when NVIDIA wasn't in the top 5 in market cap, right? There was a time when Broadcom wasn't in the top 20 in market cap. Times have changed, right? So who are we to be fighting against that, right? You need to educate yourself. And yeah, you could find other companies, but what is leading the economy, right? What has a moat on the economy? Technology.
Yep. Alum say in the chat says, why has Microsoft stalled?
CapEx. What did you just say?
Have they?
CapEx. It's very simple. Like if solid company, not going anywhere, but AI is a huge spend on their bottom line. And they've just said that they're going to spend more. And so a lot of times it's like, well, are we going to see return on our investment? They started with Azure, and they've put Pilot. It's Microsoft Pilot now, right?
Yeah.
So your AI is integrated inside of that. This year, when they reported their earnings a few weeks ago, they said, look, we're spending $80 billion more. Now it's more on infrastructure. You saw the deal with Constellation Brands. And so this is one of those things when you see not a pullback, but a consolidation as it's moving over the past 6 months. This is the time when it's like, when should we invest? Hello, it's here.
Last 2 years, 2 years ago, it was at 246.27. It's now at 408. I just want to give a gentle reminder: 49% in perpetuity of OpenAI. Well, time frame matters. That's why I say, have they stalled? There may be other companies that have had a bigger bump, like same with Novo. They've had a great bump, and it looked like Novo was going to be the new Lilly, and then it slowly falls apart. Investing is the art of putting money in today, and you're going to be rewarded in the future for the decisions that happened in the past.
Well, the interesting thing about it is that right now, Microsoft is at
408.
408. Mm-hmm. So February 15th, 2014, 1 year exactly.
406?
It was 406. Yeah. No, this is interesting because that's flat for the year. For 1 year, it had no relatively. If you invested this time last year, you made no money on Microsoft.
Can I offer one little point of pushback?
No, I'm going somewhere. So in 2 years, February 15th, 2013, 2023, it was 269. So 1 year it did nothing. In 2 years it did 50%. So that's the importance of holding, right? Because now 2 years you earn 50% on your money. That's great. If you had 1 year, then you earn nothing. So if you got to be patient, because that 1 year made a difference of 50%.
And also, not to toot my own horn, go to eninvest.com, join the stock club. Even with Microsoft being flat, Red Panda, put yes in chat if you made money off Microsoft this year. If you're buying on the dips,
exactly.
And stop waiting until the market is at market highs. Here's the edge. When you're looking at year-over-year returns, where you buy into the deepest trenches to get a return, even when the market is flat. So even when people are saying S&P is going to do 3%, that's if you invest. If you listen to me, you'll be up 12%, while the market on average is up for 3%. So where you get in matters.
That's true.
Hell of a lot.
So in February, it got down to a 52-week low of 385, but by July it was at 470. And so there's money being made in these spans. Like you said, 405. But that's that phase, like that. If you see 405 a year ago and you see 408 now, this is that area where it's like, all right, well, if you look at its 10-year chart, right, this is one of the biggest companies in the world that has a 50% stake in what is going to lead the next revolution of technology. This isn't going anywhere.
And if Elon offered $97 billion, never gonna get it. For OpenAI, cut that in half. That's Microsoft's half what it's worth now. How much more does that add to the reserves of Microsoft if he offered $97 billion for it?
Yeah, look at their treasure chest. Look at their operating cash flow.
What about PI coin?
I thought this was a great question, but I don't know enough about it to give an informed take about PI coin.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is amazing. PI coin.
Bitcoin.
Don't know. Yeah. Adam 22 cum coin. I don't think it's a good investment.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
Sorry, Granny.
Sorry. These jokes are written by 85 South. If you're new here, shout out to DC Young Fly, Poor Minds, Chad, Ryan, the whole family and team over there. So, I don't know enough, but I'll research it. I know it's supposed to debut soon. So,
can I run off some quick earnings real quick?
Go ahead.
All right, man. So it's a big week. There's some companies that we talked about here on Market Mondays. Baidu will be reporting before the market opens tomorrow. Arista Networks, I just spoke about that on my Rising Stars. They'll be reporting after close. Toast, another company, spoke about, and Josh Brown was on. We'll be reporting on Wednesday after close. And then we got Alibaba, man. I'm interested. I'm watching. I'm watching Alibaba on Thursday. Walmart reporting on Thursday. And then we have Block. Something was going on over at Block. They've had a decent turnaround, but I'm interested to see what this quarter looks like for them. So those are some of the stocks we're watching this week in terms of earnings.
Okay. So cars, and make sure you tune in Thursday at 9:00. We're doing a YouTube live episode for Earn Your Leisure about everything you need to know about buying a car. Buying a car, leasing a car, putting a car in your business name, selling a car, the finances behind buying a car, used cars, new cars. Tune in 9:00.
Yeah,
very teachable moment here.
I should have threw you the alley-oop. Carvana's reporting as well.
But having said that, what about car companies to invest in, like GM, Ford, Toyota, Honda, Volkswagen?
Yeah. Traditionally, this is a sector that I do not like. Shout out to everyone at Ford, GM. Let me get my cape out. The only car company that I've endorsed that I like from a stock perspective is Ferrari, ticker RACE, and Tesla. And that's because Tesla's really a tech company masquerading as a car company. Other than that, I think the sector's uninvestable. Have there been bright moments, bright spots? Sure. But when you look at economies of scale, most of the car business has been incredibly tough to invest in post 1980s. Ferrari, because of price point and suite of offerings, has an edge that most others don't. And then because of Elon and that network that he's assembled, Tesla has an advantage. But anything other than that, Ford, GM, Toyota, Hyundai, Daimler, Chrysler, I would not touch. It's too same with Boeing, United, Southwest, any airline at this time I can't touch. But I do like Ferrari, RAC, and Tesla.
What are your thoughts about Carvana? I know they're going to be reporting this week as well. When we talk about the used car space, this is obviously their market. They're up 450% year to date.
Yeah,
Well, actually, over the past year to date, it's like 42%, but 450. I mean, they had a harsh pullback during the pandemic. It was one of those sweetheart stocks, and now, I mean, this is another run. This is like Apple up in 700. We can't sneeze at that 800%, but this is almost 500% over the course of a year.
When in doubt, always go to the numbers. Carvana is a company that I loved during the COVID period when we first started the show. But now we have more data. So if we look, revenue 12.5 billion, pretty solid. Gross profit margin 20% for that market, pretty good. Net profit margin 0.36%.
They ain't keeping none of it. So that's after you've paid debt, after you've paid capex, all that stuff has been they're barely making
any money. So their team has done a hell of a turnaround, and that's a bright spot in it. So a lot of people have a high expectation for where the stock could go. I just don't like the companies that I personally invest in. This is like my thesis, to have a profit margin that is almost net negative.
Yeah,
it's not a good. Maybe if it was pre-IPO and I felt like they can dominate the sector, I would hold through. But I don't feel like they're gonna dominate this sector, or this sector is valuable enough to hold. Like, I think with Amazon and retail commerce, you can see it. Tesla, you can see the eventual win going to come. TikTok, you can see the win. I don't see how Carvana can turn the world into wanting to buy cars out of a vending machine. And if you're looking at Tesla as a competitor, Tesla has a better process of buying cars than I think even Carvana. So, no. Now, if the profit margin was 20% and a gross margin was 72%, completely different conversation. Completely.
Well, potentially could get there. All right.
And if the numbers adjust, then I'll adjust my thesis and advice on it. But if the profit margin is at 0%.
Yeah, well, we've covered companies where they weren't making profit, right? Uber was one of those companies. DraftKings for sure. And they had a nice report in last week because of the money that they were spending on advertising, specifically for DraftKings. It was the advertising dollar. They were everywhere. They tried to be in every sports league. They try to be on the monikers on every sports league's floor. And then you realize you're spending all this money to bring in money, but you're not making any. And obviously, they become profitable and had a great earnings this week, but last week. But maybe this is the case with Carvana. We'll see. They had a high of 350 during the pandemic, keeping up there now. So it'll be interesting to watch how they report.
And I know we covered a lot tonight, but I want to re-emphasize this. You only need 3 or 4 great stocks to change your life for the better. You don't need 20. You need 3 or 4 good ones. I wouldn't put Carvana or Uber in my top 15. If you get lucky and say you've been in Carvana since the bottom and you continue to invest in it, great. But you only need 3 or 4 that'll change your life if you keep putting money into them.
About to put out our power rankings in a second.
What about the Russell 1000?
Russell 2000 has been beat up a little bit. The Russell 1000, if you're looking for diversity, is not bad. So are there better companies, better indexes? For sure. It's really hard to go wrong with indexes though, but I would stick with NASDAQ. I would stick with S&P 500 and Dow. If you want to allocate assets elsewhere or money elsewhere, cool. I don't have an issue with the Russell 1000. I just think all of the best performers have been in S&P, Dow, and NASDAQ the last few years, so I'd rather stick there. Sure. And the 2 index part is to prevent drawdown. I want to reemphasize that. The tech is for the acceleration. So I wouldn't change it for the Russell 1000.
What's Apple's surprise announcement, you think?
Some garbage. Some garbage. I'll be clear. Shout out to everybody at HQ. I love y'all. I know y'all get mad at me for railing on the company, but I know it's supposed to be an upgraded dial of cameras up here, and I want to see some innovation. Even like the Beats Power Pro are outpacing AirPod performance allegedly. It's like, bro, write this shit before this goes wrong. So maybe an iPhone 17. I don't know if anybody cares about an iPad because the iPad is something that you don't need to upgrade every year. But supposedly a phone announcement. So, and I hope it's something that we see that is different from what we've gotten from these last two phones.
I think it's something different. I think it's something different than the phone. I feel like it has to be. I feel like they know that the excitement won't be because, hey, you're having a 17. It wasn't that much enthusiasm when they said the 16 was coming and AI is going to be part of it. And here we are almost 6 months later and we're still trying to figure out how AI is going to be part of it. So I think it's a new type of service. I'm feeling service more than a product.
What service you think they can offer?
I don't know. Something in healthcare, maybe.
I hope so. I pray.
Maybe
get a defibrillator. Something. Try. Fail over there, please.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. New York City. Do remember next Thursday, my actual birthday, February 27th, we will be playing Carnegie Hall. We will be at Carnegie Hall. Robert Smith, CEO of Louis Vuitton, Rock Kim, all of the rich people will be there.
And we have one of the leading people in AI. So AI is going to be at the forefront of the conversation. So make sure y'all there.
Get your tickets. Go to Carnegie Hall. Get your tickets. Carnegie Hall, New York City. One night only. One night only. February 27th, next Thursday.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see everybody.
Yeah. Shout out to Angie. Shout out to Angie Martinez. I was in the car and I heard the ad going over the radio here in New York. Man, I'm like, wait, that's pretty fly. Yeah. Shout out to Dre. Shout out to my boy Dre in Chicago, man. He's tapped in with the members every week. He's tapped in with the members. Dre, we appreciate you, my brother. Keep killing out there.
Salute to Dre. Yes, get your tuxedos. Mike B, I need my suit.
Please.
Hey, Mike, if this is what we're doing, hey, yo, King, what you need? You know what I need. Please. You know what I need. Hey.
I need the suit. I need the suit, man.
When you going to the tux to the after party?
Undecided.
Got you.
Undecided. I might just wear one thing all the way through. You know, you spend so much money for these outfits, you might just want to just wear it all the way through.
Yeah, for real.
Get your money's worth.
One nighter.
That's a major key.
You're not doing another per party. You have to go reinvest. Oh God.
No, we're wearing this all night. Much as it costs.
Get your money's worth. But the after party will be lit, ladies and gentlemen. Man. Okay.
It's spicy season, y'all. But in that time we see y'all. I think it's spicy season.
For sure.
A bunch of Pisces.
We got a lot to talk about on Blackout. Blackout, we will be talking about rappers and meme coins. We will be talking about the NBA All-Star, how they need to change that.
What needs to be changed.
What needs to be changed. We will be talking about Ian's pop-out.
Yeah. The snowmobile, Kim. Let's talk about that.
Amazing trip. Thank you for planning it.
The boy was on a snowmobile. Yeah. The ski lift play. I saw you.
Legendary.
Yeah, baby.
It's a lot.
It's a lot to talk about. Ooh, I can't wait.
On Blackout, man. It's been, and then I'm sure there's some other stuff will probably happen.
Y'all thought I want to see you grow up and be in love. And then I grow up and be in love, and y'all be like, oh, why?
Oh my God. I didn't expect this from you.
Also, we got to talk about $100 haircut situation.
Wait, what?
No, that's been a trending topic. Like $100 haircut. Like Kai Cenat said, no matter how much money
he's not paying that. I saw that.
Pay $100. And I actually I have a counter argument to that. But
yeah, I do too.
That's an interesting situation. What else is going on in the world that we need to talk about on Blackout? Trump, South Africa,
sure.
perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Elon trying to get you. Yo, why are you trying to get the IRS records for everybody, bro?
Oh, you know why. Boy, if I get them records,
What?
and I know who my enemies are.
Yeah.
You
You saw that Charlemagne had a post too. It was kind of interesting about the PPP loan situation.
What about it?
What trying to?
Yeah, he put up a post today. It kind of went viral as well. It was this dude that took the PPP loan out during the pandemic. It was like 20,000, and they came and raided his crib the other day. He didn't know why he was getting arrested, but he had never paid it back. So they trying to gather up everybody who ever had him. Let's say he's facing like 25 years in prison. Crazy. It was like, damn.
We got to talk about Mac McClung winning damn three-peat dunk contest champion on Black History Month. If Mac McClung MAGA, that'll hurt my heart.
He grew up in Virginia. He went to
Georgetown, man. Yeah.
Georgetown because of Allen Iverson.
Fact.
That's his role model. He actually broke Allen Iverson's scoring record in the state of Virginia.
Yeah, Mac was tough. Yeah, he was tough.
Mac was tough in high school, though.
Yeah.
He break my heart. He come out with the little red hat on the fourth one. Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine.
If those guys get into it,
come on,
Zach, Ja, maybe Zion, if he's healthy, or that would be crazy.
Nah, it won't. And I got my theory on why. But we
talk. You think it's not gonna be?
We're gonna talk about it on Blackout. But we're gonna send. All right. So we appreciate y'all. See the cash apps. We'll send a couple more cash apps after the show is over. So we'll definitely bless a few people on the checkout. Anything else we need to talk about?
No, tonight was lit. I had a good time.
Yeah, man.
It feel good to be live.
Are we live? Yeah.
Live?
Yeah, it was live.
All right, y'all. It's been real.
They didn't have no fire questions in chat, though. Y'all kept spamming our cash app.
That's a fact.
Yeah, cash apps went crazy. But we appreciate y'all.
We're
going to tap in with y'all on Wednesday, Blackout. Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel. How to buy a car. Everything you need to know. And then Carnegie Hall next Thursday. You know, it don't stop. It don't stop.
Yeah, more major announcements on the way.
It don't stop.
More major announcements on the way.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Don't worry. We it's brewing. It's brewing.
Can't stop.
Y'all know how this works, man. Happy birthday again to everybody whose birthday is this week. And reach out to your people, man. Reach out to your people. Text your people. Pick up the phone, make a call. One text, one conversation could change something for everyone. And we all have enough time to do that. So make sure y'all do that for your people for sure. Love is love. We'll see y'all Wednesday. We'll see y'all Thursday. And of course, y'all just gonna keep seeing us on your timeline. So
we're gonna figure out this John Hope Bryan situation too, as far as that giveaway.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Ran into him the other night. Oh, shout out to Tom. Shout out to Tom for putting us on that prestigious list of closers. Had a good time the other night. Yeah. Shout out to that. That was dope. And congrats to our sister Tamika Mallory on her book. It is officially in stores. Go check it out.
Oh, it's out? Okay.
Yeah. Let's run that up. So shout out to Tamika. Shout out to my son as well. Yeah, man. She's an incredible human being as well. Yo, love is love.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Are y'all live? Or is it AI? AMD cloned y'all.
How do we end this thing? I'm not sure. Shout out to Eddie Murphy too for killing it the other night on Saturday Night Live. Last night.
Sure.
Yeah, he was ridiculous as Tracy Morgan.
Yeah,
shout out to him. All right, y'all. We out. Peace.